And then he understands, the pastor sees I don't understand what he's saying. He says, I don't think you heard me. What I'm telling you is, we see a very big door opening in your career. You will influence nations. You will be a global leader.
Oh my God.
And in Paynet, I met two people, very critical in my life. I met a bigger sister. She realized how hungry I was for God. And she held my hand. And that sister is the late Helima Moshiri.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
You know, we've had Pius on CTA.
You have?
Twice.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Helima, because you see, I've made friends here, there, but we are all age mates. We are all trying things as in here, there. Helima saw the hunger in me. And because I'm the one who used to lead the communication for the young adults ministry. So I think she had either registered or something. That's how she knew that I'm in church and I'm all that. Because I would send weekly challenges to all other young adults and look at this, have you done this, have you considered spending, all those Bible scriptures and all. So as Helima got to know me, and as we got close, she invited me into their home.
Wow.
So remember, I didn't have a family per se in Nairobi.
Yeah.
The Runanas became my family. And that was Helima's heart. That was because of Helima.
Hold on. So you're talking about, oh yes, this is Helima in her mother's house.
Of course.
Pius is not the...
No, Pius came late.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a side conversation. Not side conversation, but on camera. I was at, just to give people an understanding of Helima, I got to meet Lawrence, Helima's sister, Helima's brother. And he was painting for me a picture who Helima was. And he's like, all of us in this family.
Correct.
All of us.
It is her.
It is, we know God.
Because of her.
Because of her.
Yes.
And he was telling me this story.
Yes.
So, and even Pius, of course, has told me about Helima. So that is a woman who loves God. I've never met her in my life, but the explanations that have been given to me is somebody who absolutely loved God.
Yes.
So
and
for that person to walk with you.
Her legacy lives on. And that is why I have thought I cannot pass that moment without mentioning Helima. She held my hand.
What does that mean?
She taught me what it means to pray, to seek God, to trust God, to live for God. She showed me what it means to trust and wait, whether it is coming or it is not.
Wow.
She taught me what it means to love, to extend grace, kwanza grace. She showed me what it means to have mercy. I'm telling you, she took me to her family. I had breakfast with, not breakfast, we had dawa, hot ginger, with Pius on Monday this week. And I mentioned this to him. And he didn't also know that my birthday, because we had stopped celebrating birthdays in my birth family. My birthday was being celebrated in the Runana's family. As in...
What?
They took me in because of Helima. She taught me how to show up as a person who knows God. Anyway, I think we can continue.
Second person?
Second person. Actually, there are three people. Second person, though, was my husband. I met him at Paynet.
Pennet.
Paynet.
Paynet. Oh, Paynet.
Yes. I met him at Paynet. Though later, but that's where I met my husband.
Mm.
And the third person was Jemima, one of my very closest friends in this life we live. So Paynet was an amazing space for me. She's Gems. I call her Gems. She's Kabuda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was a nice moment.
Yeah. So Paynet, I got grounded in. So now let me go to 2007, and that's how I remembered Helima. So by the time I was getting to 2007, because Helima had started working with me, I understood the disciplines of being a Christian deeper. And I also understood what it means to live in purpose. And so when it became 1st of January 2007, I told God, this year, it is me and you. This year, you are working on my foundation. You know, I think it's Habakkuk 3, I'm not sure whatever it says. I have heard of your fame. I want to see it in my day. That year I told God, I have seen a semblance of it, and I know you can do it. But this year, you need to work on me in a way that you prepare my foundation so deep.
Wow, 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 wow.
If it means you strip me of everything, you do it this year. Because you're not going to strip me at age 40.
Wow, wow, wow.
And so tukaanza here, me and God, like this. I have never fasted as long as I fasted in 2007. I was heavily engaged at the time. I think, what's Mavuno starting? Had it started? I think so.
I remember.
It had started.
2006, yeah.
Yeah,
yep.
It was newish. But then,
it was at the club.
Correct, it was at the club.
Sports
yes.
Club, yep.
I got introduced.
Mama is employee 001 at Mavuno. First intern. Or 2.
Yeah, so I was still in ICC. And remember, I'm still working in the council of my spiritual leaders.
Yes.
But I needed to understand, actually, what I saw when I was turning into 2007 is he honors above all else his word above even his name. So I understood, which is Psalm 138:2, I believe. I understood that this God, who is not man that he should lie, or that he should change his mind, his word, he honors above everything else. So even though I pray and say in his name, it is only effective if it is about his word. So 2007, I told myself, this word, you immerse yourself in it, Holy Spirit, help. And so that's the journey we went on.
Yeah, Kendi, I don't want to run over this. Your story, I love this 2005 transition that's happened. So this is what I'm trying to say. You are so cognizant that you're about to be elevated. You know, me, my life, Kendi, I'm going to make it. Apparently, I'm with all this money and all these positions and all these things that people that I desire, I'm going to get there. But because I'm going to get there, I'm going to take 2007 to fix my foundation.
And I'm okay to be stripped of everything. Everything. As in, leave me standing solo like this.
You know, there's a song called Refiner. That's a very
Refiner's
dangerous...
Fire.
Refiner, Maverick.
Maverick, yeah.
That's a very scary song to sing. I want to be something by fire, purified.
Yes.
What you're asking...
That is exactly
I want to be tried by fire, purified.
Yes.
Take whatever I desire. Lord, here's my life. What you're asking, cognizantly, is a very... Especially as somebody who has been terrified in the past about losing. I just wanted to stop there for a moment, because I'm like, you stopped to tell God, even if it means you take, which means in reality, if it means he takes my job, if it means I go back to the village,
yes,
if
everything.
it means these new friends that I've gotten,
if that is what it is, let us do it now. Because you'd rather fall when you're at this height than when you are tall. You'd rather, but you're closer to the ground.
And that's now the second element of faith. You knew you were going somewhere.
The way he had already proven himself, I believe, by the way, he strategically led me there. Because he had already proven himself in all of these things, which were big for me by the time he was doing them. Whether it is the job at Bennett, they were big. Whether it is him, how he led me to give my life, they were big. So he had already proven himself as God and as sovereign. So I knew he can do these things. And he had already told me, try me. Remember when I went to be born again, it was try me. Then now I'm reading the word. I'm seeing, one, he honors his word even above his name. I'm seeing, I think it's Philippians 2:13 or something, what he causes us to will according to his purpose, meaning he can work on my heart. Then I'm seeing, I think it's Ezekiel 36:20 something, 28 or something, where it says, I can take your heart of stone and make it soft so that you want to obey me. And I'm seeing again a combination of Habakkuk. That one says he's done big things, but you can show, as in Habakkuk himself is one saying, I've heard of your fame, but I want to see it in my days. So what does all that tell me?
It's about to go down.
No, it tells me that he is capable of a lot more if I let him.
Yep.
If I surrender. And surrender means,
not my will, but yours be done.
Yes, release everything. You receive like this. You don't receive like this. It means here. So take it, everything. 2007 was a tough year.
I love that.
It was such a tough year where I had been dating. I was asked to release that. You remember I was trusting to get married. As in, even the urge to get married, I told him, if it is not your will for me to get married, even that I will be okay.
Wow.
As in, I released everything. Everything, Richie. Everything. Everything.
This is such a contrary formula to what we call success. Thank you for sharing. Whew. So
then, we go through, then the reason I brought up Mavuno is because this is when now I met other spiritual leaders. I met Pastor Mbevi and Pastor Sophie.
Pastor Simon Bevy, yes.
Yes, Pastor Simon Bevy and Pastor Sophie. And with them, I did Ombi when it was called Ombi. No, School of Prayer at the time. It was called School of Prayer at the time. And it was just what I needed. I needed to know how to pray. I needed, all those things. And then I served I went and I would
facilitate.
To facilitate. I was a facilitator. So I was engaged to the end. And I worked very closely with the two, with Pastor Simon Bevy and Pastor Sophie. Anytime there would be, and then I joined the prayer ministry in ICC. And then I started to read, whether it's E.M. Bounds about tears are liquid prayers, as in you're tallest on your knees, all those things. I immersed myself in the knowledge of that. Then a salary increase was done that year, the full company. People got higher increases. I only got 4% or something like that. Anyway, the percentage that I got only increased my salary from 50,000 to 54,000. I felt bad because everyone else, but I understand because me, I was paid above everyone else. Anyone who was in my level, they were paid between 35,000 and 4,000.
But you had asked for your 50.
Correct. So they were regularizing the salary. So I understood. But even then, I was like, I'm giving so much of myself. So all of this. So I look at that and I'm like, and you see, all of this is, meanwhile, I'm telling God, I'm like, you know what, these things, I'm putting them aside. But then after finishing, after he had stripped me, now I'm single. Now I've only been given, I don't know what this percentage, I've been asking for a 6-figure salary, sijapata. You know, all these things. Then I was like, you know what? The month of September is the last one I'm going to go in rags.
To go in?
Rags. You know the rags, how in the Bible the reference of, I will mourn, I will plead, I will do all this. I'm like, September, God, you know this year, the whole year we've been me and you. This September, September, every 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, for all the days of September, I will fast, and it will be dry fasts. And when I'm done with September, I am going to get into a celebration mode, because I will be thanking you for what you've done. I was like, this is how far my night goes. After that, I needed to be there, and I needed to come through. So we do that, and actually to finish that, what do? Me and my friend, she's like, I'm like, we had some money, we take ourselves to White Sands. So splurge. Yeah, we're like, let's fly. Let's take a flight, fly 540. Let's go to White Sands for 3 nights. Let's go. And I see the majesty of God with the ocean and everything, and we give him thanks. So that is exactly what we did. When it came to October, it was for giving thanks. It was, God, celebration. You have done. I am not asking again. You know, you will do when you want. If you don't, it is still fine. I still love you. So my posture changed. So went through, then it's December 2007, and this year, the reason I'm dwelling on it is because it's such a transitional year for me. So December 2007, we are doing a kesha, because overnight prayers. And at the time, Mavuno and ICC were collaborating together. So it was ICC pastors, and also I think Pastor Mbevi was there, and then other pastors from Mavuno. Then when time is in prayer, when we're in prayer, a prophecy is said. And I'm called to the front, and it is said, we see a big door opening for you. And then he understands, the pastor sees I don't understand what he's saying. He says, I don't think you heard me. What I'm telling you is, we see a very big door opening in your career. You will influence nations. You will be a global leader.
Oh my God.
I took that word.
This is 2007.
Yes. I took that word and I said, God, it is you who speaks to your prophets. I have heard, thank you. Lakini tuendelee. Kazi as usual, let's go. When it is time, you will make it be.
But also there's something you've said. You said, Kendi. You said, God will honor his word even above his name.
Yes.
So, in your version, God is speaking, you've taken it, and you know he'll honor it, but in his time.
In his time.
So you believe that word?
I believe that word. And also my prayer was, yes, I believe that word. So yes, by the time we're ending, I believe it, I take it. And I'm like, you've said it, okay. I don't know what it is, so you do your thing. So me, I was happy because I was like, all I needed to do was earn 120,000. I had a figure. I told God, just take me from 54,000 to 120,000. So
damn,
we get
it's like a jump. It's double. It's
double
change.
So I'm applying for jobs at the time now. You know, whether it's management trainees or the people who have some experience. I knew I was going to work for a bank, so I was serving banks. Anyway, so then New Year 2007 to 2008. You know, prayerfully. I spend time prayerfully usually on New Year to just, what is God saying? What do I desire? I looked at that journal the other day. So I write everything. And I'm like, there was prophecy, but we were in agreement. Anything you didn't strip of last year, as in everything, as in I'm going with the knowledge that, and then we made an agreement. I said, may my heart never desire that which you do not desire for me. So that by the time I'm desiring anything, I know it is
it's in line with you.
Yes. And so then by the time I was even writing what I desire, I knew it is in line with him, but I needed to continue confirming. And so, like, one of those things, like I'm saying, 120,000, that's what I wanted for a job. I wanted a car log free. As in, I was very ambitious.
You wanted 120,000?
I wanted 120,000. I wanted a car.
And this time your foot should be she.
Yeah.
Lexus.
Yes, I'm in Lexus, yes. I
want 3. Because this is before Uber.
Yeah. It's my 3.
Yeah.
Taxi was a luxury.
That's my tattoo, public transport.
Yes, taxi was a luxury. Who took a taxi? Anyway. I wanted a car, the logbook in my name. So meaning debt-free. Meaning it's been paid for. I wanted to travel to at least 3 foreign countries. I needed one in Europe, one in America, another one in Africa. I was very specific. I can't remember the other things, but yes, I wanted all those things. So I wrote, kept it, continued with fellowship. I continued serving, prayer, what. And I continued serving, showing up, paying it. Now it's grown, we are doing tenders and all of this. Then one day, remember my boss, Wayne Harris? He tells me there's a tender that we need to win. It was one of the bigger banks. And I want you to help me put the tender package together. So I will do them, then you will arrange them, as in it was a critical tender. And then he told me, then I will request you, please be the one to take and wait for the tender opening. So I'm diligent, so did all of that. Then, after I'd put in the 3 envelopes, because you submit in 3 copies, at the time we never used to submit on email because the files were too big, and storage, I think, was still expensive. And there was no cloud storage, actually, at the time.
This is 2008?
8.
Yes,
this is
2008.
Yes.
Yeah.
Around March, actually.
Okay.
Yes. And then I take to him the envelopes, and then he tells me, so that we make sure that sure that no one has seen the pricing of what we've submitted, let me put a seal. And so he took the company stamp and put it as a seal on the envelope. When he put it as a seal on the envelope, I went with the documents. I walked, it wasn't far because we were in town. We were in Ambank House. The bank was one of those streets. So I walked and went and submitted it in the tender box just before time, met the deadline, then sat. Because usually if the deadline is 3 p.m., they say deadline is 3, then at that time they bring the tender box and they say, as you can see, we are only opening, and if anyone is a minute late, they're disqualified.
Yep.
So they opened and removed all the tenders and put them there. So looking at the one which is labeled, it was ATM machines. The one that is labeled ATM machines. And so then we start, I think we were either 5 companies or thereabout. Or no, at the time only 3 companies used to. So we sat around at, there were 4 companies. So we sat round in the boardroom as they open and confirming, is it addressed correctly? Is it addressed correctly? Is it addressed correctly? Then they got to our envelope. Is it addressed correctly? Yes. Then one of the other other companies, someone who's representing their companies, says, but there's a stamp on it. I don't know what that means. Then I'm like, yeah, but that was our seal. I say, yes, because we were sealing it. They're like, but the conditions say that you should not have anything showing the source of the tender. So you see, again, because this is still a very male-dominated space, all of the people there are actually men, and I'm the only other woman. And I'm the youngest, because the others were like the GMs of their company, because it was a big tender. So then the person from the bank says, okay, because I explained, I'm like, it's just a seal. As in, we just use it as a seal. And then I tell them, could you make an exception? Because they showed me where it is that you're not supposed to have the company logo. And the guys around the table, they're like, no, I'm sorry, madam. No, actually, they said, I'm sorry, young lady. We can't. That is how business works. So we are going to disqualify your company.
Because you put a seal.
Because a seal was put.
A stamp even, yes.
You know, at that point, I'm like, God, where's your favor? I ask, then you're supposed to work on the hearts of these people. Then you help them. you help them show me favor.
Yes.
But then I tried, because I was like, where is my miraculous God now? But it failed.
Yeah.
There was nothing.
Yeah.
So then me, walking back, I went and updated my boss. I'm like, we were disqualified. Why? While I was walking out, one of them told me, we are so sorry. I hope you don't lose your job for this. Me, I just said, it's okay. Like you said, it is business. So I went, I told my boss, this is what has happened. We've been disqualified because our stamp was on the envelope. Of course, we had worked so hard on it. We felt bad, it was deflating. He said, oh. Then he actually told me, I think that day he gave me a voucher for dinner or something, just to encourage. He's like, it's okay. I know we've done a good job, so it's fine.
That was nice of him.
It was nice. He taught me how to be a good leader, as in he was really a good leader. So then I move on with my life, and I still don't understand that scenario, because that was March. So May, beginning of May, I think it was 6th, not beginning, it was 6th May, I remember. I don't know what I'm doing. I think I was seated on my desk. I get a call. I'm looking at the number, it says +212. I can hear someone speaking on the other side, but the accent is so heavy and the connection is not good.
Where's +212?
Morocco.
Oh, Morocco?
Yes. But what I make out of that conversation is that, are you Kendi Ntwiga? I'm like, yes. I'm like, can you make it to State House Road in 1 hour's time? Because I'm catching a flight in 3 hours' time. So I need to go to the airport. I'm like, what is it about? Like, I got your name. I got your recommendation for a job in HP.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, you did? By who? Then he says, I didn't hear. So I'm like, you said, where again? My friend, one of my friends, Vicky, had a car. So I called her. I'm like, that's the car we bought, which God answered. Could I please borrow? I go for the interview.
So you already could drive?
Yes, I had finished in preparation. Yes, in preparation. Oh, I should tell you, I started to go back to the village, but on my terms. I used to hire a car. Yeah, so that's how I needed to know how to drive before buying a car. So like 2006, 2007, December.
You hire?
Yes, I would hire. Anyway.
Hey, you must have been a village hero, eh?
Of course. Anyway, I just remember. Of course, another bad financial decision, but it was coming to.
Sometimes cars are
it was healing a very central part of me.
Yes. Village had woods.
Anyway. So I go. She was in Kencom House at the time. So I quickly walked to Kencom House from Ambank, picked her car, then went to the house, changed into interview like attire, found my way to HP. I go, I meet this guy. So that's the one I'm asking now. He's a hiring manager. His one was from Morocco. So he tells me about the role. I'm doing the interview. I have no idea what role it is. He gives me a brief. Then I ask him, and who gave you my name? Then he gives me the name of the GM, who is the one who said that my tender be disqualified.
Yeah.
Remember in the room when the tender is disqualified?
Yes.
The one who said, let the tender be disqualified, is the one who recommended me. And when now Seba asked him, who can you recommend in this town? I'm expanding, I've not advertised this job yet, and I need to hire quickly.
Yeah.
All Rishbi, and thank you Rishbi if you're watching this, all Rishbi said is, I know a girl. She's very diligent. I've seen her. She's very consistent. Interview her. I was the only person who was interviewed for that job from Kenya. The others who were interviewed were Kenyans who wanted to come back to the country. And just like that, he told me, you have a job. Oh, I was asked, how much do you want? Of course, now it's HP. I was like, oh, my 120,000 is coming to be. So I told him I want 150,000. So at least there's room for negotiation. Anyway, so he interviewed me. Then he told me, I just need you to meet the Kenyan MD. Then after that, we'll do the processes. It's fine. And that, Richie, is how I got my HP job, which paid me 360,000.
Ah, we stop. Stop. We'll be back. Let's process that story. Let's process.